Long time getting here.
Good morning, everybody. Just before we start the formal proceedings, I'd like to personally welcome you all here this morning for commencement for the School of Graduate Studies and the School of Medicine. We're so happy so many of the friends and families of the graduates could join us. Just a few words about your cell phones. Unless you have a wonderful call tone that you'd like us all to hear, I suggest you turn them off now or silence them. Thank you very much. And about cheering and shouting when we give out the degrees. We may look like a somber bunch, but we're not. And we strongly encourage you to make all the happy noises you can when the students graduate. You know, we're all academics and we tend to spend most of the time sitting around worrying about funding. So we'll be very happy to join in with your cheers. Thank you. And if you'll now all stand for the national anthem, and please remain standing for the invocation which will be given by the Most Reverend Michael G. Duca, Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Shreveport.
Let us pray. O divine physician, we gather today in a spirit of celebration as we honor these graduates at the completion of their studies. We give you thanks for the blessings of this medical school, who prepared these new doctors who will serve us when we are in need of healing and care, or in the research that will advance the care we receive. May these new doctors never cease to be filled with wonder and awe of human life and the working of the human body. Fill them with a respect for their patients, using all their skills for their benefit. Give them humility to seek help when needed, and give them courage and confidence when they must act in difficult situations. Guide our proceedings today with a spirit, an exuberant spirit of dignity and respect. Fill us with the joy of excitement that comes with a goal achieved and an imagined vocation realized. Fill us with the peaceful and insightful joy that comes from hardships and difficulties overcome and the sacrifices which bear the fruit of accomplishment. And fill us with the joy that comes from the hope we feel as we witness this morning the medical vocation in all its aspects, renewed with the enthusiasm of youth and the hope of new doctors, therapists, and researchers. We pray all this in your name and are thankful for all our blessings, you who is love and the source of life. Amen.
You may be seated. It's now my honor and distinct pleasure to introduce the Chancellor of the Health Sciences Center and the Dean of School of Medicine, Dr. G.E. Garlick.
Good morning. On this beautiful summer day in Shreveport, Louisiana, it's my distinct honor and pleasure to be here to address the graduating class of the School of Medicine as well as the School of Graduate Studies. Dear graduates, guests, faculty, staff, families, alumni, and friends, it is certainly my high honor to welcome you to the 2018 commencement of our LSU Health Sciences Center Schools of Medicine and Graduate Studies. On behalf of all the graduates, I want to thank those of you who have traveled from far and near to join us today. I know there's folks from as far as away as across the street to thousands of miles away, and I want to thank you for being here today. Not only do we appreciate your presence at this auspicious ceremony, but also your guidance and support over the careers of these students. Each of you has played an integral role in shaping the success of the 130 students who will receive their diplomas today. They could have not done it without you, so thank you very much. I would also like to acknowledge those who could not be here today, but who have provided inspiration and assistance to our graduates as well. And to the class of 2018, congratulations. There are very few days in your life that you will always remember, and today is one of those days. You have worked very hard for many years to reach this milestone. You have grown professionally and personally during your time here at LSU. You have not only earned your degree, you have forged friendships that will last a lifetime. Members of the School of Medicine's classes of 1973 and 1978 have marched in with you today. I got to tell you, I had a wonderful time last night talking and meeting some of the members of some that I've known before for many years and some that I met for the very first time from both the classes of 73, our first class, and the class of 1978. This is their reunion weekend in which they are celebrating their graduation 45 and 40 years ago, respectively. I would like to ask them to stand now and be recognized as our alumni representatives present each with a commemorative medallion. There were 31 students in this class. And as many of you may recall, that class started at the VA hospital and then was ultimately moved over to the current location. The class of 1978 had 44 students. This was the last of our so-called small classes before the class size was increased to 100 in 1979. The quality of these physicians and their dedication to this profession reflects well on our school and our faculty. As these doctors have cared for their patients in the years since their graduation, they help to solidify the reputation of our school locally, regionally, and nationally as an institution that trains outstanding physicians and scientists. We're excited to have them participating in this ceremony with us today, and I suspect that they're looking back on their own graduation day years ago, and it probably didn't seem like it was that long ago, I'm sure. Please join me again in thanking them for being with us. Thank you, guys. Like the members of the classes joining before them, this class of 2018 has received outstanding training. I can attest to that. Whether you're going on to residency training, postdoctoral work, or a career, this is an exciting time to use what you have learned these past few years. Our faculty members, many of whom sit with you today, have helped prepare you with the knowledge and experience you need. They have worked tirelessly to give you a sense of mastery and confidence to prepare you for success. We thank them for their ongoing commitment. And so, graduates, today you cross the finish line, or some people may say you're crossing the start line of a whole new set of challenges. You have overcome many challenges and achieved your goals. Enjoy the ceremony and your sense of accomplishment. I want everyone here, I know you think I'm boring right now, but I want everyone here to enjoy their time today, because this is really a celebration of what these young men and women have done in the graduate school and in the School of Medicine. Also remember to personally thank those who helped you along the way. And no one does anything by themselves, I can tell you that much. It is now my pleasure to introduce our distinguished guests who are seated on the dais. The Honorable Jim McCrary, Louisiana State University Board of Supervisors, and our former United States Congressman. Thank you, Congressman, for being here. Our commencement speaker, Professor of Cellular Biology and Anatomy, co-chief, and basically rock star, Dr. David Deshay. Our Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs in the School of Medicine, Dr. Jane Eggerstad. The Vice Chancellor for Research and Dean of the School of Graduate Studies, Dr. Chris Kevel. The Vice Chancellor for our Monroe campus, Dr. Lester Wayne Johnson. Our Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and Co-Chief Marshal, Dr. Jay Marion. Our Vice Chancellor for Administration, Dr. Roxanne Townsend. The President-elect of the Shreveport Medical Society, Dr. Christina Notoriani. Assistant Dean for Diversity Affairs, Dr. Debbie Chandler. Our Assistant Dean for Student Admissions, Dr. F. Scott Kennedy. President and CEO of the LSU Health Sciences Foundation, Mr. Kevin Flood. The President of the LSU Health Science Center General Faculty, Mr. David Duggar. Thank you, David. His Most Reverend Excellency, Michael Duca, Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Shreveport. And last but not least, Miss Kim Carmen, Registrar of LSU School of Medicine. Oh, I left out Assistant Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Mark Platt. And the MC for this event.
now time for the president of the graduating class, Ms. Cynthia Noguera, to introduce our speaker.
Thanks, Dad. Good morning. Class of 2018, family, friends, alumni, distinguished faculty, administration, and staff. My name is Cynthia Noguera, and I'm the Class of 2018 president. I am honored to speak to you today on behalf of this exceptional class. I would like to welcome you here to the commencement ceremony at LSU Health Shreveport School of Medicine. I cannot believe this moment is finally here after what only seemed like a dream to us at first. But first and foremost, I would like to thank all the people who have worked to make this moment possible, and that is each of you standing in this room today. Also, thank you to those who have traveled near and far just to celebrate this special moment with us today. Family and friends, our #1 support system, our cheerleaders, we are forever grateful for all your continuous love, support, and encouragement throughout this journey. Second, I have to thank our faculty and staff, better known as our mentors, educators, and inspiration. Thank you for your patience in instilling every bit of your knowledge and expertise that has allowed us to get to where we are today. We have looked up to you as you have set the standard at the bedside, watching you care for your patients and doing simply what you love to do. It is because of you that we have grown the confidence in order to become compassionate physicians to the best of our abilities. Classmates, friends, and now my fellow colleagues, I want to take a moment to bring you back to the time that you got your acceptance letter for medical school. What were you doing? Who were you with? And what was that initial feeling in your heart? Were you nervous, excited, or simply overwhelmed for what was about to begin? For many of us, this moment was only at first a dream that has now become your reality as of today. Something that I remember the most when I received my acceptance letter came from one of my physician mentors. He said, "Remember this excitement and draw energy from it whenever the going gets tough. You will make it." Throughout medical school, I tried to remember this piece of advice when the going got tough. Making the adjustment to medical school, studying for exams, step 1, then step 2. I want each of you to know that part of the journey is always about reflecting on your past and where you came from. Today is a momentous day. Whether you are continuing a legacy of physicians or you are the first, as am I, everyone is extremely proud of your accomplishments, as you should be too. So friends, I want you to remember this special day as we have finally achieved one of our lifelong goals, and remember this excitement. I want to challenge you to draw the energy from today and use that as the drive to get through our residency training, as we all know that it is certainly no walk in the park. It has truly been an honor and pleasure to serve as your class president these past 4 years of medical school, and I wish you all the best as we start this new chapter together. Thank you. And now it is with my distinct pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker this morning. Dr. David Deshay has been with our class since our first day of medical school. As a matter of fact, he has nearly taught majority of us in this room with his 48 years of teaching experience at LSU Health Shreveport. Dr. Deshay received his Bachelor of Arts at Stephen F. Austin College in Nacogdoches, Texas. Afterward, he received his PhD from Tulane University in New Orleans in the Department of Anatomy. He continues to teach at this medical school in the subjects of embryology, histology, human anatomy, as well as serving as the course director for the Module 1 curriculum. Among his numerous awards and achievements, he was the first recipient in 1997 for the Dr. Alan A. Coping Award for Excellence in Teaching in the Basic Sciences. This is the highest teaching award given in the medical school system. He is a well-known favorite to the medical students he teaches, as he was recognized by each of the classes he taught with numerous awards, of which included Best Anatomy Department Teacher, Best Instructor in the Histology course, and Best Overall Teacher. Just yesterday at our senior awards ceremony, he was awarded by our class the Adrian F. Reed Basic Scientist Teaching Award for his 22nd year. Needless to say, Dr. Deshay has quite the impressive resume. In the spring of 2016, the Deshay Endowment Foundation was created by Dr. James Small and Dr. Karen Small in honor of Dr. Deshay's service to the medical school curriculum and its students. This foundation has continued to serve the advancements of our medical education at LSU. Because of their initial gift and support of other generous donors, the Deshay Endowment Foundation has grown to reach over $200,000. It was certainly no surprise that my classmates chose Dr. Deshay to be our speaker this year. And now it is with my greatest respect and pleasure to introduce to you our commencement speaker, chosen by our class, Dr. David Deshay.
Thank you, Cynthia. How can you not enjoy teaching students like that? I must say that when I was asked to give this talk, I was definitely a bit hesitant. To get me, a teacher, out of the classroom without a PowerPoint, no less. It was a bit unsettling, but then I decided there were a few things that I wanted to say to these graduates that I've enjoyed working with over the years they were here, and to the alumni who are here, and to all of you attending this ceremony today. Teaching medical, allied health, and graduate students has been one of the greatest joys in my life. I came here in 1970, and as Cynthia said, that was 48 years ago that I started here. I hope to continue as long as I'm able. I'm asked that all the time. How long are you going to keep teaching? Well, as long as I'm able, I'm going to keep doing that. It's such a joy. I thought you might like to know a little of the school history since I came here so long ago. And the school was actually established in 1965 by the legislature. And then, and it was the dream actually of physicians in the community starting in 1955. They had a committee that was dedicated to trying to form a medical school here in Shreveport. So it's been a while. I had the privilege of knowing many of those first founders, and they were marvelous individuals. And they taught actually in the medical school curriculum. So a number of our alumni that are here today were actually taught by these founders. I'd like to recognize again the class of 1973. I've enjoyed talking with them about those first few years and all their accomplishments since that time. They started in 1969, the year before I came. They registered on faith because the school wasn't even accredited when they started. You can imagine that, but it worked out okay. I didn't get to teach many of them since I came in 1970, but I did attend their graduation, as I have all the graduations since I started. It was interesting though, I was looking at their yearbook, and it was the first yearbook, 1973. And I flipped the cover open and I found their program and the invitation to their graduation. And would you believe it was on May 26th, 45 years ago today. I'd also like to acknowledge again the class of 1978. We had some wonderful times at the VA where they had their basic science classes until the new medical school opened in late 1975. I also attended their graduation in 1978, but they graduated on May 28th. So they have 2 more days before they can really celebrate their 40th anniversary. In addition, there are a number of alumni that have sons or daughters or relatives graduating today. For those that have sons or daughters, it means that I've had the privilege of teaching 2 generations. And then, in the case of one graduate today, 3 generations. I call her my grand student. I think the importance of our school cannot be overestimated. It's this school that I love so much that has trained thousands of students. Can you imagine thousands of students that we have graduated in allied health, in the graduate school, and in the medical school? Can you imagine the impact that all these students have made on their professions? So I'm really delighted to be a part of all of that. I also feel fortunate to be a part of the medical community here in Shreveport-Bossier. I attended the Evening for Healers this year and was reminded what a marvelous group of healthcare professionals that we have. Folks who are dedicated their lives to helping others. There's such an amount of knowledge and expertise at the Health Science Center and in our community. I believe there are great things in our future. In preparing my talk, as you can imagine, I read a lot of quotes, many profound and some humorous. So here are some of the humorous ones. It made me laugh. Don't worry about what people are thinking about you because they aren't thinking about you. And from Robert Benchley, anyone can do any amount of work provided it's not the work he's supposed to be doing. And lastly, 2 quotes that I remember from science hanging in the office of the late Bob Clausen, a dear friend who came to the school in 1968 and taught most of the alumni who are here today. These quotes remind me of his dry sense of humor. The first is, "It's too late to agree with me. I've already changed my mind." And one he'd point to is, "He was giving me advice. Take my advice, I'm not using it." I love these remembrances of Dr. Clausen. But for my talk, I'd like to continue with a quote I admire from Goethe, who said, "All truly wise thoughts have been thought already thousands of times, but to make them truly ours, we must think them over again, honestly, until they take root in our personal experience." So today, I probably won't say much that most of you have not thought yourselves before, but they are things that I think about and have tried to incorporate into my personal experience. I'm going to start with what I think of as the miracle of the human body. You would expect that from an anatomist, but I'm privileged to look at the way the body is put together. It certainly is complicated, many intricate parts working together. I look at my hand every once in a while. I look at my hand and say, isn't that the most marvelous thing, that my hand can move and then I can move my fingers at the same. And so we have bones and joints and muscles and tendons and blood vessels and nerves all working together to allow me to gesture. One of my further thoughts is that when we study anatomy here in Shreveport, we are studying the way humans are constructed all over the world. We use an atlas created in Japan to teach anatomy. Our students participate in electives in clinics in Africa. We have doctors and researchers who trained in other countries and are practicing and researching here. So all the world's people are fundamentally the same. Further, each of us is composed of trillions of cells. That always boggles my mind. I can hardly conceive of trillion. And there's many more trillions that form my body and your body. These microscopic cells make up the muscles, bones, and nerves that allow me to move my hand. They also perform all the other tasks that keep us alive. The graduate students and many of our medical students have done research on the intricacies of these cells. When you hear the dissertation titles of our graduate students, you'll know how complicated research on the cellular and molecular level can be. It may seem like a different language, but it is the language of modern science, dealing with the fundamentals of how our trillions of cells operate in health and disease. I hope all of you graduates have gained a passion for the acquisition of knowledge based on evidence and will not take truth and knowledge for granted. Science is absolutely essential in the quest to understand us as human beings and all life. A quote that I love by Louis Pasteur is, "Science knows no country because knowledge belongs to humanity and is the torch which illuminates the world." You graduates will be working soon and being paid almost enough to live on. To me, working is one of the greatest joys of my life. The people I work with are a large part of that joy. There can be great satisfaction for anyone in any kind of work, whether you're working with patients in the laboratory, in business, or caring for a family. My greatest satisfaction comes at the end of the day when I had many things to do and I accomplished most of them. Some days just go extraordinarily well. Others don't go so well, and some days are downright lousy. That's the time I seek out my work friends to vent and try to go back to objective and things better. Sometimes I'm given tasks or obligations that aren't really something that I would have opted to do. How many of us have said, "I don't know why I have to do this. It wasn't my idea." I read a quote by M. McLaughlin, "What you can't get out of, get into wholeheartedly." I'm trying to work on that one and incorporate it into my thinking. But with all the difficulties, work is exceptionally rewarding. I hope you will all find the joy of working at something that you love to do. I want to say something now about taking care of yourself and others. All of us know that in order to take care of others, we have to start with ourselves. This one's not often easy. We often get caught up in taking on too many projects, responsibilities, or problems. There are problems to be solved every day, whether personal or at work. Some can be handled fairly easily. Others require a great deal of our time and effort. I'm a firm believer in working on complex problems a little bit at a time. I think exercise helps. Walking helps me think, and I get exercise too. Get good sleep. Amazing how a fresh perspective can help. Humor may help. Often when I'm worried about a problem, I actually try forcing a smile or a laugh. I find smiling and laughing at my predicaments can change my attitude, and it all seems less serious. But if personal or work problems are so daunting that they completely overwhelm you, and I've faced times like this in my life, don't hesitate to find someone who has worked through similar problems or has expertise that can help you find a path out. Another aspect of taking care of ourselves is keeping grounded in your relationships. I paraphrase this from a speech by Barbara Bush. As important as being a doctor or scientist or whatever, you are a human being first. And those human connections with spouse, with children, with friends are the most important investments you'll ever make. People in my life are extraordinarily important to me. One thing I try to do to take care of myself also is focus on those things each day that give me a warm feeling. They could be as simple as a good meal, a hug from a friend, a touching movie, or a book. I recently read something about the importance of keeping a diary. I've not been someone that does that, but I like this because it said, find something, the essence of the article was to find something each day that was particularly meaningful to you, and if you wrote down nothing else, make a note of that. So I've started doing this. Recently on a birding walk, my wife and I spotted a pair of bluebirds on the line. We could see with our binoculars the bright blue in the morning sun. As we watched, 4 goldfinches with their bright yellow bodies and black foreheads landed on the line. It was magical. So that got added to my diary for that day. Other things that have been added are walking in my garden and picking fresh snow peas and eating them right there in the garden. And one that I added 2 days ago was listening to the concert by our musical group called Echolalia. Some of our seniors and graduate students are a part of that. Such a talented group of people. Their performance enriched my life. And then one that I added just last night, and that was the joy of being at the reception with so many of you and getting to talk to you at the reception and meet your families. I must say that the last 2, Echolalia and the last night, were actually great joys and not just small joys. And to taking care of others, maintain your humanity. Don't be too busy to care. Be engaged when interacting with others. Each of us knows the power associated with genuine listening and concern. When taking care of others, we may not always know what to say or do, but it can be done in seemingly insignificant ways. Leo Buscaglia said, too often we underestimate the power of touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment are the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around. We have all experienced, I think, being the recipient of these small acts of caring, and will in turn give them to others over our lifetime. I want to make sure that you all realize that you're individuals with contributions to make. There's room for many marvelous people in the world and many wonderful accomplishments. There's so much to do that we shouldn't feel diminished by the accomplishment of others, but relish in them. And accept yourself for who you are, and then find your own unique way to make your part of the world a better place. And lastly, there are always possibilities of becoming more. This is brought home to me by an older friend. On one occasion, he asked me how I was doing, and I related to him how things were going in the department and in my teaching and in my life. I felt fairly confident about the things that I had accomplished and felt secure in what I was doing. But then he said, I'm eager to see what you will become. It shook me some because I thought I had already arrived at a fairly comfortable place. But of course, he was telling me not to be complacent and accept new challenges. No matter what we have done to this point in our lives, we all have the potential of becoming more and being more. I'm 74 years old. I'm making that admission. And my life is still a work in progress. Just preparing this speech gave me the opportunity to think about things that are most important to me and changed some of my thinking. Each of us is a work in progress, no matter what our age. Life is fragile, and it's wonderful. Take advantage of each day to try to become more and give more. So in conclusion, to the graduate students, even though I didn't get to work with all of you, I'm delighted for you that you made it to this milestone in your career. I know it took extraordinary effort because I had to do it myself at one point. To the medical students, it was such a privilege to work with each of you, starting at freshman orientation with my map presentation. And then on through your anatomy courses, white coat ceremony, and now here at the graduation. And seeing you take on projects like Camp Tiger, Go Bald, and so many others that you helped in so many ways at the school. I'm proud of what your class has accomplished and you as individuals have accomplished while you were here. I'm happy to have been a part of your education and happy that you have become a part of my life. I would say to all you graduates and to the audience too, that I hope you will reward yourself with a life full of the joys of learning, of being conscientious in your work, of caring about yourself and others, of taking pleasure in life's small joys, and of being an individual who can make a difference. I'm eager to see what all of us will become. Congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Duchesne. If I may say, the man is a legend in his own lifetime to all of us. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Jay Marion, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. He will present the Alan A. Copping Excellence in Teaching Awards. Dr. Marion.
Congratulations, class and family and friends. While these commencement exercises are all about honoring the graduates, we always like to spend several minutes paying tribute to some of their teachers. The Alan A. Copping Endowed Chair established by the Board of Regents provides funding to support the Alan A. Copping Excellence in Teaching Awards at both medical campuses. This award is given each year to selected individuals who, as I quote, are gifted in imparting knowledge, skills, and a lifelong quest for discovery, and who inspire the young men and women in whose capable hands will rest the health and well-being of the people of Louisiana for years to come. Picking a single basic science and clinical science recipient is a challenging task since we have so many outstanding faculty at the LSU Health Science Center in Shreveport. This year's nominees continue to reveal that excellent cross-section of teachers. The final winners are chosen by their leaders, their colleagues, and most importantly, their students. And I am very proud to be able to present the 2018 awards. Along with the recognition afforded by this honor, each recipient receives a lovely engraved award and a generous check from the LNA Copying Endowed Chair Funds. As I present this year's winners, I will ask them to come to the stage to receive their award. The first award is for excellence in the teaching of basic sciences. This recipient has been a member of our faculty since 1993. As I touch upon her efforts to educate a complete spectrum of learners, you will recognize the profound impact that our recipient has had on the education of our students and the success of our medical school. As an associate professor within the Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, she teaches subject materials that many students consider difficult or confusing. Her talent for helping them to unravel complex biochemical pathways is complemented by her ability to stimulate her learners to recognize the very important information that they are studying. To say that she personalizes her teaching to match the needs of her students is an understatement. As a matter of fact, one of her graduate students recently told me that he had met with her because he was having some problems, and she said, "What concepts are you having the most trouble with?" She then queried his learning style and asked to meet back with him the next day. Prior to that second meeting, she prepared a personalized teaching plan to help him conceptualize the information that he was struggling with. When I asked him how it went, he commented, "She is amazing. I've never seen a faculty member more invested in teaching." In addition to her great work as a course director in the graduate school, our medical students might know her best through her work as an excellent instructor, as the Module 1 course director, as the co-course director for Course 1, and as a facilitator of multiple small groups and learning sessions. Our recipient also recognizes that good physicians are so much more than just human biologists or human technicians. While we expect them to possess incredible scientific expertise, she recognizes that they must also be humanists, leaders, and community servants. And she doesn't just talk about it, she demonstrated it. Her belief in this is so strong that in March of this year, she stood in solidarity with her medical students by allowing her head to be shaved to raise money for a worthy cause. Our students hosted Go Bald, a fundraiser for pediatric cancer research. Leading the way as a top participant, she helped our students raise over $52,000 this year to support life-saving research. The nomination packet for our recipient contains support from the many sources of her learners and colleagues, including graduate students, past and present, large groups of medical students from every year, fellow faculty members, and institutional leaders. It's important to know that our award recipient is never content with the flattering evaluations that her students provide. She's always looking for ways to improve. In the words of one of her medical students, "I've never heard a professor ask so many times for feedback. She generally wants each year to be better than the prior year." On a similar note, one of her faculty colleagues wrote, "She constantly goes above and beyond what is expected, often serving as an advocate, advisor, coach, and surrogate parent for her students. Simply put, she is an education Wonder Woman." This nomination was strongly supported by the selection committee's medical student representatives, as well as the graduate students on the selection committee. The 2018 LNA Copying Excellence in Teaching Award for the LSU Health Sciences Center in Shreveport for the Basic Sciences goes to Lucy Robinson, PhD, Associate Professor in the Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. Our second Copping Award is for excellence in the teaching of the clinical sciences. This recipient has been an active and constant participant in student and resident education since joining our faculty in 2007. She actually provides justification for the pride that we take in the quality of the physicians that we train at our institution. And I say this because she is one of our own students who graduated from this medical school in 2003. After completing her residency training in internal medicine and pediatrics, she joined our faculty as one of the most skillful clinicians and teachers our students have experienced. Early on, she distinguished herself as an outstanding educator while earning the admiration of students, house officers, and her fellow faculty members. When I first met our recipient, I recognized that I was observing a wonderful paradox. And what I mean by this is that she simultaneously possessed two admirable traits that I rarely saw in the same person. It's true that she has a commanding presence, and I guarantee you she can rule any room that she enters. But at the same time, she is the most humble and gracious person that you can ever hope to meet, and I've not seen that in too many of one person. But she has both those traits. She has an intense passion for teaching that is met by her great skills as an educator. The passion and skill set made her an ideal candidate to serve as the program director for our combined medicine and pediatrics training program. Now, there's an old expression that you've all heard that states, if you want something done, ask a busy person to do it. Well, we take that advice often. And we took it when we asked her to be our internal medicine clerkship director for the third-year medical students. And this is no easy task, and it has great responsibility. Some have said that medical students crystallize their ability to think like a doctor during their internal medicine clerkship. I will briefly mention that in her spare time, she has spearheaded multiple projects that help us train physicians that we can be extra proud of. For example, she established a chapter of the Gold Humanism Honor Society at our institution. This is so important because many believe that it is the humanistic qualities of a physician that are recognized as what we call bedside manner. I could go on listing the numerous honors and awards that she received, but since the Copping Award is for excellence in teaching, I will instead share with you excerpts from her students, residents, and her faculty colleagues. Such comments have included, whether it is giving a lecture, facilitating a small group, or interacting with students at the bedside, she strives to bring out the best in her students, making her a wonderful role model for future physicians. Another student stated, when I worked with her on the wards, she listened patiently as we students fumbled through our early presentations. She then smiled and gave us gentle guidance to the appropriate assessment and plan. She is a large influence in my decision to stay in Shreveport for my residency training. And finally, another of our students wrote, on a more personal note, I look up to her in many ways. She's an example of the type of physician, educator, leader, friend, and woman that I hope to become. Not only do the students look up to her, but so do her faculty colleagues, and so do I. She is a continuous inspiration for all of us. Her willingness to take on new tasks with excitement and enthusiasm is contagious and makes us all strive to be better educators, physicians, and role models. The LSU Health Sciences Center in Shreveport's 2018 LNA Copping Excellence in Teaching Award for the Clinical Sciences goes to Lauren Beal, MD, Associate Professor in the Departments of Internal Medicine and Pediatrics.
now come to the conferring of degrees. The Honourable James McCreary, member of the LSU Board of Supervisors, will confer the degrees. At this time, I call upon Dr. Christopher Kevill, Dean of the School of Graduate Studies, to present the candidates for the degrees in graduate studies.
Will all the graduate candidates please rise? Mr. McCrary, we have 8 candidates who have completed all the requirements for their degrees from the School of Graduate Studies. I'm pleased to add my recommendation to that of the faculty of the School of Graduate Studies and to present the candidates to you for the conferring of their degrees.
Accepting the recommendation of the Dean and the faculty of the School of Graduate Studies, and in consideration of their high praise concerning the scholarly achievements of these candidates, with the authority vested in me by the Board of Supervisors of the Louisiana State University System, I confer the degrees upon these candidates. Congratulations.
Mr. McCrary, you have conferred the degrees upon these candidates. I'm pleased to present them to you individually at this time to receive their diplomas. Dr. Kelly Tatchell, Associate Dean for Graduate Studies, will read the graduate names.
Will the graduates and their major professors please come forward? For the degree Master of Biomedical Sciences, Tasha Creason, Gail Creason Monroe, Microbiology and Immunology, Major Professor Roner S. Scott, PhD. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Dr. Stephen John Sipley in absentia, Microbiology and Immunology, Major Professor Andrew Urochko, PhD. Dissertation title, Human cytomegalovirus receptor ligand engagement promotes a distinct pattern of monocyte to macrophage differentiation that induces viral permissiveness. Dr. Shuai Guan, degree conferred in December 2017, Cellular Biology and Anatomy, Major Professor Christopher G. Kello, PhD. Dissertation title, The Regulation of Hydrogen Sulfide Metabolism on Endothelial Permeability. Dr. Surabhi Chowdhury, Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, Major Professor David S. Gross, PhD. Dissertation title, Architecture and 3D Genome Organization of Heat Shock Factor 1 Regulated Genes in Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Dr. Kimberly D. McCarter, Cellular Biology and Anatomy, Major Professor Hong Sung, PhD. Dissertation title, Neuroprotective Effects of Low-Dose Alcohol Consumption Following Transient Focal Cerebral Ischemia. Dr. Dhaval Navin Patel, Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, Major Professor Stephen N. Witt, PhD. Dissertation title, Alpha-synuclein inhibits SNCS3 retromer-mediated retrograde recycling of iron transporters in S. cerevisiae model of Parkinson's disease. Dr. Corey Nicole Robinson, Pharmacy, Toxicology, Neuroscience, Major Professor Kenneth McMartin, PhD. Dissertation title, Analyzing the Transport and Kinetic Mechanisms of Diglycolic Acid as the Underlying Cause of Diethylene Glycol Toxicity. Dr. Anu Sridhar, Pharmacology, Toxicology, and Neuroscience, Major Professor Yongfeng Zhao, PhD. Dissertation title, Investigating the Mechanistic Role of UCP2 during Skin Thermogenesis.
I am honored to call upon Dr. G.E. Ghali, Dean of the School of Medicine in Shreveport, to present the candidates for the degree Doctor of Medicine.
Everybody ready, or do you want to take a break? Didn't think so. Okay. Will the candidates for the degree Doctor of Medicine please rise? Mr. McCrary, the candidates have completed all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Medicine. I am pleased to add my recommendation to that of the faculty of the School of Medicine and to present the candidates to you for the conferring of the degree.
On the recommendation of the Dean and faculty of the School of Medicine in Shreveport, and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Supervisors of the Louisiana State University System, I confer upon each of you the degree Doctor of Medicine. This degree gives you certain distinctions and privileges. As you accept the degree, you must also be willing to assume the associated responsibilities that are involved. The university expects you to be diligent and steadfast in carrying out your obligation to render a high order of service to humanity. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. McCrary. Doctors, please be seated. Faculty marshals, please take your places. It's not fair, Deshay. You get to do everything. Will the first graduates please come forward? I better see some smiles on some faces. There you go. Mr. McCrary, you have conferred the degree Doctor of Medicine upon these graduates. I am pleased to present them to you individually at this time to receive their diplomas. Dr. Mark Platt, Assistant Dean for Student Affairs, will read their names.
We're just going to wait one moment. We're trying to hood the students in public for the first time ever. This is a 13th century tradition from monasteries and early universities in Europe. The other 13th century tradition we still have is the lecture, which I'm fighting hard to get rid of, as you know. So we're going to wait till we've got a number of them hooded, and we shall begin. Dr. Jordan Rusbe Abdahu. Dr. Olivia Metzger-Adkins. Dr. William Peyton Adkins. Dr. Mariam Akhbari. Dr. Alexis Victoria Geis Albin. Dr. Lance Tyler Albin. Dr. Matthew Laurent Asserp. Dr. Britton Postlethwaite Beatrice. Dr. Blake Thomas Blanchard. Dr. Kessler Joseph Bourgogne. I'm supposed to have some jokes ready at this point, but I don't have any, so we're just going to pause. Dr. Kelly Nicole Rowe. Dr. Ross David Brockman. Dr. Kent Allen Broussard. Dr. Matthew Taylor Berger. Dr. Kayla Basham Burkhart. Dr. Clifton Nelson Bird. Dr. Nicholas Julius Carbajal. Dr. Caroline Broussard Carroll. Dr. Taylor Adam Carter. Dr. Taylor Brooke Shepherd. At this time, we will just pause for a moment while we remember Dr. Reed Chadwick, our friend, student, and colleague who passed away late last year, to the sadness of everyone in our community. You may notice the students are wearing a black ribbon in his honor. And if I may add my own personal words, that his memory should be a blessing to us all. Dr. Eugene Paul Sicardo III. Dr. Katie Lynn Clark. Dr. Taylor W. Clements. Dr. Caitlin Alexis Cochran. Dr. Patrick Joseph Garvey III. Dr. Amanda Jean Dedmond. Dr. Natalie Ann Doris. Dr. Natalie Renee de Rouen. Dr. Lee Victoria des Hotels. Dr. Matthew Risha des Hotels. Dr. David John Detz Jr. Dr. Joseph Evan de Villiers. Dr. Richie Rose Tulagan Diaz. Dr. Michael Downey Deneen. Dr. Tiffany Mary Dufresne. Dr. Elizabeth Ross Duval. Dr. Tyler Douglas Edwards. Dr. Haley Marie Everett. Dr. Caitlin Elizabeth Fagur. Dr. Lillian Worth Fauché.
You want to see?
Dr. Lindsay Danielle Felicia. Dr. Sarah Thorne Flanagan. Dr. Bo Daniel Foxworth. Dr. Alex Michael Fusile. Dr. Caroline Sykes Garcia. Dr. Nicholas Taylor George. Dr. Caroline Elizabeth Germany. Dr. Elizabeth Catherine Garisco. Dr. Caroline Elizabeth Hagan. Dr. Jordan Hanbury. Dr. Daniel Vern Harper. Dr. Kelly Irvin Harris. Dr. Jewel Marie Harvey. Dr. Wynne Traylor Harvey II. Dr. Harry Singleton Hawthorne III. Dr. Margaret Louise Hebert. Dr. Miriam Louise Henry. Dr. Brandy Renee Allen Henson. Dr. Amanda Nicole Hinton. Dr. Jeffrey Michael Hogan. Dr. Savannah Lynn Holloway. Dr. Julie Lynn Halstead. Dr. William Roger Ishii. Dr. Taylor Jeon Young. Dr. Summer Ann Kirsch. Dr. Reed Stewart LaHaye. Dr. Martinique Lorraine Lamb. Dr. Tyler David Lever. Dr. Eric Weston Linville. Dr. Eric Arthur Lorio. Dr. Maria Victoria Luragis, whose diploma will be presented to her by her father, a member of the Department of Radiology, Dr. Nelson Luragis. Dr. Thomas Edward Marsden. Dr. Adam Ripley McClure. Dr. Martin Robert McManus. Dr. Noah LaHaye Miller. Dr. Dipti Vijay Modi. In absentia, Dr. Courtney Arnie Morgan. Dr. Brady Hall Mosher. Dr. Andrew Joseph Murphy. Dr. Murphy's diploma will be presented by his mother, Dr. Peggy Murphy, member of the Department of Medicine. Dr. Lee Ann Marie Nakari. Dr. Cynthia Marie Noguera. Dr. Russell Daniel Parks. Dr. Ryan Wayne Pate. Dr. Jason Michael Petitjean. Dr. Alexa L. Phillips. Dr. Daniel James Poole. In absentia, Dr. Jared Ott Pope. Dr. Myra Ifat Kayoum. Dr. Derek Timothy Rainwater. Dr. Sarah Kate Rose Rainwater. Dr. Rixney Davida Reed. Dr. Laura Elizabeth Rivers. Dr. Nicholas Ryan Roberts. Dr. John Clayton Rodriguez. Dr. Cheyenne Rouhani. Dr. Hannah Grace Rossin. Dr. Hannah Laura Sands. Dr. Kyle Paul Schuller. Dr. Alexandra Fruge Sellers. Dr. Hallie Rebecca Small. Dr. Andrew Joseph Smith. Dr. Hilary Ann Smith. Dr. Leah Nicole Spatafor. Dr. Caleb Benjamin Stanfield. Dr. Christina Moore Stanfield. Dr. Blair Nicole Stevens. Dr. Rachel Elizabeth Strength. Dr. Lauren Ann Tagoda. Dr. Dennis Michael Thompson II. Dr. Gregory Kingston Tobin. Dr. Than Lan Nok Tran. Dr. Ashley Marie Twyman. Dr. Julio Eduardo Vega. Dr. Charles Remy Vidrine Jr. Dr. John Ho Volts. Dr. Rachel Marie Voss. Dr. Melanie Claire Watt. Dr. Stephen Christopher Wheelis. Dr. Ashley McHugh White. Dr. Eugenia Camille White. Dr. Lucille Eugenia Woodley. Dr. Nathan Chung Yao Yang.
As we wait for the last few to trickle back to their seats, I'm sure the class of 73 graduation didn't take quite that long. Not as many in the class. I'll tell you that one of the things we're looking at and moving forward towards is expanding our class size. And so it may take a little bit longer in future years, but I think it's well worth it. For centuries, it's been an honor to administer the oath of Hippocrates to new medical graduates. So it is my distinct honor to do that today. Will the medical graduates please rise? Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear by that which I hold most sacred.
I do solemnly swear by that which I hold most sacred.
That I will be loyal to the profession of medicine and just and generous to its members.
That I will be loyal to the profession of medicine and just and generous to its members.
That I will lead my life and practice my art in uprightness and honor.
That I will lead my life and practice my art in righteousness and honor.
That into whatever house I will enter, it shall be for the good of the sick to the utmost of my power.
And into whatever house I will enter, it shall be for the good of the sick to the utmost of my power.
That, holding myself aloof from wrong, from corruption, from the tempting of others to vice.
That, holding myself aloof from wrong, from corruption, from the tempting of others to vice.
I will exercise my art solely for the cure of my patient.
I will exercise my art solely for the cure of my
and will give no drug, perform no operation for criminal purpose, even if solicited, far less suggested. That whatsoever I shall see or hear of the lives of men, which is not fitting to be spoken, I will keep inviolably secret. These things I do promise. And in proportion as I am faithful to this, my oath, may happiness and good repute be ever mine. In the opposite, if I shall be forsworn. Congratulations, doctors. You may be seated. I'm happy to be the first to welcome our 130 new MDs, PhDs, and researchers to the wonderful and evolving world of healthcare. Thank you all for coming today to join in the celebration, and a special thanks to our speaker, Dr. David Deshay, the Honorable Jim McCrary, Dr. Notoriani, and Your Excellency, Michael Duca. For a chancellor, there's no better day than graduation day. This is what it's all about. This is why we have chosen this path, not only to care for the patients who need our help, but to be able to mentor and teach those who will one day take our places. Because believe me, there is a time to retire. Graduates, you have now become part of a very proud tradition that began with our first graduation 45 years ago, a special bond that is LSU. I am sure our guests from the classes of 1973 and 1978 would agree you have much to look forward to. I know that you will represent LSU with distinction. We hope to see you all back here in the near future with your own stories of successful and fulfilling careers and lives. And believe me, that day will get here sooner than you think. Meanwhile, the best advice I can give you is to love what you do, exceed your expectations, give back and do your best. And of course, keep learning. Throughout your career, you will encounter many teachers, not the least of which will be the very patients you care for. Take advantage of the opportunities to be all you can be in every aspect of your life. God bless you, and God bless everyone here. Thank you. Dr. Platt is coming up next.
Please rise for the benediction and remain standing until the participants have exited.
Let us pray. Loving God, send us forth with the joy of accomplishment and the excitement of a new beginning. Keep us safe in our travels home and bring success to our new endeavors. May we never forget or take for granted the dedication of teachers, the work of many individuals that keep our school open, the support of family and friends, and the opportunity to receive the education to pursue our chosen vocation. Give us always a thankful heart and joy in the vocation we have chosen. We pray this in the name of our God, who lives forever and ever. Amen.
Come back out. So I'll come back out here. I'll meet you here.
Thank you.